Hi guys, this is the intro to my interview with Jean-François Dagenais. I will just call him Jeff. He is a founding member and the guitarist of the Canadian death metal band Kataklysm, and they came here through Prague on their way to play at a festival. I went to meet with him and the rest of the band, and we sat down and had a little talk. Now in this video we talked about all the changes that have happened throughout his career. Over 30 years with this band Kataklysm, 15 albums. They started touring before GPS machines. They used fax to communicate. He also told me what bands influenced him, what got him into metal in the first place, and then what bands got him into extreme metal. How Jeff had to do homework on tours when he was a teenager, what he would have done if he would not have gone into metal, when is the appropriate time for a band to retire, and what advice would he give to a 12-year-old self. Check this out, guys. I hope you enjoy.
Let's do
Hi,
it.
Jeff. Welcome to Prague. Nice to see you.
Very happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah,
Awesome.
You're here the third time in 3 years, right? You seem to be coming here a lot.
I mean, Prague has always been part of our circle of like whenever we come to do a few dates in Europe, like we have a stop here most likely. If we don't, it's because something happened. Like there was no like. We wanted a certain date and it was not possible or something like that. But otherwise, we're always here. Like we love the fans here. Yeah. The metal scene's great.
Yeah, we seem to not get enough of you, and you don't seem to get enough of us.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a perfectly happy marriage.
Yes.
Now it's been 30 years, or actually 32 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or since you guys started.
At 91.
Yeah, so. Okay, so it's 33 years, and 15 albums.
Yes.
But during this time, there has been, I mean, obviously your music has developed a lot, but there's also been a lot of changes in the industry, like recording technology, distribution technology, touring versus albums. What has been kind of the most positive change, if you think, for your band?
I mean, so we come from a time like before electricity. Like we started our career and we went on the road. We had no GPS. Like we had to follow a map and drive to the nearest city and then call the promoter. Hey, where's the venue and stuff like that. And we were negotiating contracts with a fax machine, and that was like our highest like technology back in the day. Like we're getting fax and like, okay, they want to offer us this much money, and like, okay, counter offer. Exactly. So we come from those days, but I find like there's so many changes in technology that happen, but I think the biggest thing for us has been like the way we record and produce our music, because we all live in different cities, and I find we're able to make it work really easily thanks to the way things are nowadays. Like we all talk on Zoom. To talk about the songs, and we send files to each other, and we all have our own little studio thing, and so we're very far apart, but it doesn't matter because with the technology, like it's like we're all connected, and I find that has been like a great advancement. I mean, for us in technology, and then also promoting the stuff. Like back in the day, we would do tape trading and like. Now online, like you can put a news out there and then everybody hears about it within like an hour or two, and it's like it goes around the
easier, basically.
It's really easy. So that made it better as well, but also like it has some downsides to that as well. But I find that it's more positive for us than negative.
But the revenue model changed as well. I mean, I guess that's kind of a downside in the sense that, like, you don't really make money off selling the music, as such, right? So
I mean, for us, it never really mattered because we were never the
huge, like a million.
We never were like Metallica or anything like that. So we sold decent amount, enough to always be able to finance the next recording, and we kind of went like that. And through the different changes of medium, now people are streaming more, but because we have such a big catalog, all our albums together keeps on streaming because whenever we release new music, people are curious and we make new fans, and they go back and they listen to older stuff. So we have like this huge catalog that keeps on kind of going all the albums together, and that is valuable in a streaming sense. Like it's worth money for the label, and it also allow us to still get decent recording budgets and publish like production, publicity, all that. Like they still pay decent money for us to do all these things. So I guess in that sense, I mean, I can't really complain. That's the way things went, and I'm not gonna fight it. I'm just my idea is to like, this is the way things are, and then you roll with the punches, and you keep
doing it the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, we're artists. It was never the goal to be rich doing this. Like, I mean, we love what we do. Obviously, we love playing music, traveling the world, and meeting people such as you guys. And I find, to me, this is the reward of being a musician, and as well as creating. I find creating the music is probably my favorite part. Like when I'm home and I
come up with a riff.
I pick up my guitar and then like I try to like come up with some new ideas, and then these ideas starts to form a song, and then I send it to the other guys, like, what do you think? And then they give me feedback, and then we rework the thing, and I'll send it. Like, I love that process, and even if I wasn't in a successful band, I would still do it on my own because I love doing it.
What were your idols? And
when I was a really young kid, I discovered Iron Maiden at a really young age. I think I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I was reading a lot of books already that were kind of like medieval with like dragons, Dungeons and Dragons kind of stuff, and fantasy at that age. And then I went to the record store and I saw like Number of the Beast and all the artworks. I was like, what is this? Like, and I bought the LPs and I started playing them, and I really got into Iron Maiden at a young age. And when it was my 11th birthday, my mom took me to the concert as a surprise.
Oh, wow.
They came through town, and it was in '88.
Yeah.
So I saw Iron Maiden for the Seven Sun tour, and then they had the Guns N' Roses as opening band before they got huge. Like they were starting, and I saw that show, and then the very next day I was asking my parents, like, I want to play guitar.
Oh, that's great.
And then my grandma was kind enough to buy me a guitar for my birthday, and I think they saw how much I was passionate about music even at a young age, so she bought me a guitar, and I changed my life. I started playing, and I wanted to learn like Metallica, Iron Maiden, and then I got into heavier stuff, the thrash thing, and then eventually the more like I'd say like the bands that got me into that metal was the British era, like the Bolt Thrower, Carcass, Napalm Death, like that. Those bands. Bolt Thrower a lot, like I think you hear it through my playing. Like I always love those down tune, like really heavy, and those dark melodies, and so that's kind of like my musical journey. But that, like, it keeps going. I mean, you never stop discovering new things, and I love modern bands as well, and I find sometimes like the newer bands are a little overly technical for my taste, but I still give it a listen and discover things I like within the newer genres, and I bring those influence into my playing as well. And I like to
like a sponge.
Yeah, but also like I like to create things that are always kind of fresh. I don't want to always repeat the same thing over and over. For me, it's important as a musician to still try to create something new, yet with like you want to like stay true to your roots, but somewhere in the middle, kind of find push it a bit outside the box and a little further, and at least that's my vision.
But I think, like, if I listen to your kind of journey, that's what has happened. You know, like you kind of take a gradual step. You're far away from where you started now, but it didn't happen in one jump. It happened in multiple tiny steps. Yeah. I saw you guys twice last year live, and in my best concerts of the year video, I voted you the third best concert after Pantera and Metallica.
Oh, thank you.
And it was a tight call. You know, it was a very close call. I think the nostalgia of seeing Pantera finally kind of got the better of me, and then the fact that Metallica could produce this 70,000 show and still pull it off. That was just. Yeah. But your gig was, I called it in my review, that you are the Rocco Siffredi of heavy metal. You know, you're the band that nobody would like to follow up on because the crowd goes nuts.
It's a great compliment.
Yeah, and
I'll think.
But it also left me with a question that what you were saying, that you are kind of staying with your strength in how you make music. And when I was watching you both of those gigs, and we were actually talking about it, me and the cameraman, that because now you know that you need to take this music out on the road. You know you're going to take it out on the road. Does that impact your songwriting or how you write riffs or how you structure the songs?
It does to an extent, in a sense that whenever we're writing, like I can see myself on stage sometimes and be like, I know this is gonna
hit.
This is gonna hit like where it counts, and for sure we have certain songs that becomes designed by nature for the live, but we also know, like when we finish an album, we know that we're never gonna play all the songs live, and there's some songs are gonna remain like album songs, and then we know the ones that are like these are gonna the live songs, and sometimes we're writing, and we're like, there's some sort of doubt in my mind that I'm gonna be like, are people gonna like this? But then I'm thinking, I see myself on stage like doing it. I'm like, yes, it's perfect.
It's gonna work.
Yeah. And not that we write with the intent of like completely like, I don't know. It's hard to say this. I don't want to write in the intent that we want to be super commercial and
no. But you create an atmosphere for sure.
Yeah, it's more the atmosphere and the electricity in the room with the fans and all that. It's that mindset.
But what inspires your music? Is there any, and the lyrics and stuff like this? Is it is it something that, some emotions or politics?
It does all kinds of different things. Like for instance, the last album we wrote, kind of like a lot of the songs we wrote while the pandemic happened. Yeah. So it's I gotta say, not political, but maybe we went a little bit into the rabbit hole of like what's happening underneath all that, and that was a bit of the theme of Goliath. There was like the big guy against the small guy, and then like of course we see ourselves in the small guy, and it's like sometimes you think like no matter what you do,
we're always gonna lose.
We're gonna lose, or like we have to all get together and fight the beast, and then that was pretty much the concept of the record.
If there wouldn't have been music, was there a plan B? I mean, would you have, I don't know, was it Jeff the plumber or Jeff the painter?
It's such a hard question because
you don't know.
I don't know. We started this at a very young age, and it's typically we were a high school band. We all met there, and when we started playing music together in the early 90s, we said we were all like 14, 15-year-old, and we thought, okay, let's do the most extreme thing we can ever think of. And we were not even that great of musicians, but I think that was part of the magic and the craziness of the early days, doing stuff that isn't conventional or that isn't even music if you go by musical standards, and putting it together. And we created a sound, and that got us signed right away with Nuclear Blast record, and we were all like kids. So what happens, they threw us in the studio, we got the record deal, we did the demo, the first album, and then they threw us on the road, and we were still in high school. Like we were out on tour in Europe with Deicide, and I remember like asking my teacher, can you please like prepare all my homework, and whenever I come back from the tour, then I'm gonna finish it all, and I'm gonna get caught up on my work, and then that's how we did it. Like
that's crazy.
We came to Europe. I don't think I was 18 already, and we were touring with Deicide, and then we did a tour in the U.S. with Incantation and Enslaved, and we did all of the U.S. and a lot of times we'd go to clubs, and the age was 21-year-old to be in a club, and we were telling the owner, if you ask our to see our cars, like, you have no show tonight, we're too young to play here, and they're like, okay.
So there was no plan B.
Yeah, so we did that, and they told us when we started, like, enjoy it now, because it's gonna last 5 years, and you're gonna be gone in 5 years. Like important people in the industry, and for us, we never expected to go further. We just kind of kept going, and eventually now it's not that it's becoming sort of a joke, but we're saying, like, for us, we don't really put a limit on things. We just keep going with the flow as long as everybody's happy and enjoying doing this.
I just came off I've seen Alice Cooper, Glenn Hughes, Deep Purple. I saw AC/DC a week ago or 2 weeks ago or something like that. And it's interesting. People are always saying, oh, they should retire. But I don't get that, because I think, well, if people show up, if they feel good being on stage, why stop?
Exactly.
I would never tell Michelangelo to stop painting, you know? Do you have an idea or a concept in your mind?
I know that I feel that, I mean, because what we do as music is a bit more extreme, I see maybe a limit because of that factor, because playing a Kataklysm set at 70 years old, I don't know if our body's going to be able to
deal with it.
To deal with it. Like, it's pretty fast stuff unless we kind of tone it down,
and then it loses a little bit of the charm.
But I feel like, I don't know, I told the guys, for me, I don't look at that factor. I look at, as long as we're having fun and we're happy doing this, for me, that's what matters. I think, I don't know, it's hard to say, it's so hard to say, but I know for sure we have another 10 years in us. Then after that, I don't know. Who knows how we're going to feel in 10 years from now. But for now, we feel healthy. We feel good. We're doing it. So,
if you could make a phone call to a 12-year-old Jeff back in Canada and give him advice, what advice would you give him?
It's such a good question. Yeah. I don't know. I would try to teach myself some common sense and some smarts, because, like, there is a part of your life you get wild and crazy and do some stupid stuff, and I would try to limit that or make him understand that, I know, although it's part of life, there's things are maybe not necessary and mistakes have been made, but I mean, other than that, I think I would say, like, keep going for your dreams and don't look back, because I think I'm happy with the life I lived, and I feel grateful about everything that I've experienced, and I'm happy that I didn't turn back or try to give up and do something different. Like, we went all the way, and I think it was very fulfilling and still is, and I have a feeling that we have a career for many years to come. So I would try to tell him, keep going.
Don't give up. Just be less stupid sometimes.
Exactly.
On that, so you're playing a festival here in the Czech Republic tomorrow, then you're going to play Hellfest.
Yeah.
And then you're back to the States in Canada.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like these shows, it's concluding sort of our Goliath tour cycle, because we did everything kind of compacted. Yeah. So we did like a few tours in the States. We did the Europe, the open airs last year. We did a lot of open airs last year. That's why we're doing little this summer, because we did everything already. So we're doing the few ones that we haven't done. And then we're probably going to take a break, like write a little bit of music. We have a new XDO EP coming up for the other band. So we wrote that in between the tours this year, and we're just putting some new music for that band. And then we're going to take it easy for a few months, but we already have a bunch of offers for next year. Okay. So now we have to just get together and see what we want to do or not want to do, because that's the rule now. We're seeing how everybody feels, and sometimes, like, if we get offered like a 6-week tour, we might think twice and be like, it might be a little long. Like we're pretty happy, honestly, going for 3 weeks, like 3 weeks at a time here and there. And I think for our age, it's still good.
Yeah, I mean, you have families.
Exactly.
Like it's a different thing.
So whenever we get offered like those big things, like depending on the condition, sometimes like the last few times we were offered a long tour, we were like, nah, let's not do it. But then they call us back. They made sure we could not refuse.
They sent a new fax with a higher number.
Yeah, exactly. And they were like, what about this? And we're like, we look at each other like, let's do it. So yeah, it's kind of how it works like lately, but it's funny because like whenever you're talking about like, let's do shorter, let's do this, let's do less. Everybody,
it always ends up being different.
People wants it more, and it's
especially when you're coming maybe here to Europe. I mean, you're bringing over gear, paying flight tickets, and all that. It makes maybe more sense to make it longer. Out here. Yeah.
But we just did 5 weeks now in the U.S. And it's all right. I mean, we can still do it. It's just like by the end of it, we're like. We start to feel it, like age factor kicks in, and it's normal. But I mean, we still deliver night after night.
Me and him, we are 50. We are dead after 4 days in a metal festival.
Yeah.
You do 4 weeks playing metal festivals, so we can relate.
We're almost there. Like I'm 49, and our singer turned 50, so we're there, and. Next thing you know, we'll be like 65.
Well, that's great, Jeff. So thanks a lot for taking the time. It's been really a pleasure.
Thank you.
And I hope the gig tomorrow will be great.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Great. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. I definitely did. I had a lot of good time with Jeff. We spent like 2-3 hours with the band, and it was really, really nice, guys. So I want to thank you for watching this, and if you like it, then I would be happy if you'd like the video, and you could subscribe to my channel for more interviews. I also do concert reviews and album reviews. And then I want to tell you about this interview here that I did with David Ellefson from Megadeth up here, just the other day when he came through the Czech Republic.